Hey Nicole, what's going on? Rob Cesternino, very disappointed to see you go last night, but not before you gave us a couple of moments that we will see many, many times in GIF form. And in that way, you truly are never voted out.
I, I appreciate that, Rob. Thanks for having me.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel great. I had a fun night last night with family and friends, so I'm excited to get up,
Okay,
get
not
at
too
it.
fun. We're not going to see you maybe hurl in this podcast.
Oh my God, I will never live that down. It's like a
No,
step.
you
No,
won't, but that's Survivor
no,
history.
exactly. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's my truth.
Well, let's talk about what happened because I have so many questions for you about this tribal council and
Yep.
how it all unfolded. Because we saw that you were maybe on the outs after the challenge was going on, and you told us, hey, listen, I can read people. If I'm in trouble, I'm playing the shot in the dark. And then no shot in the dark. So, can you just talk us through your vantage point and how you made that decision?
Yeah, for sure. So I knew that after I knew based on just the tribe dynamics and the vibe that I was getting from certain people and how they were reading me and treating me that it was between Annie and I. That was the net. That you had you had this group of four, they were tight, and then you had Annie and I on the outside, and I knew it was a 50-50 shot. And so going into tribal council, I knew I was going to play my shot in the dark at a 50-50 rate. Like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try and pick up on a vibe from this tribal council, and if something throws me over that 50% threshold, I'll play it. But then, as you see in the episode, I turn to Alex. I say, hey, Alex, am I good? Like, am I good? Do I need to play my shot in the dark? And he says, no, you're good. And that put me back at like a 30-70. So it felt the Annie vote felt logical. I think they did a good job of making me feel like that was a very logical vote. Yeah. And so that was kind of the perception. I was like, I'll hold on to this for at least next week.
There's that moment where Jeremiah talks
Mm.
about how, okay, there's one of two people. Did that in any way change the equation for you? Or you just felt like, oh, well, yeah, he's talking about Annie.
I thought he was just doing that to appease Annie, honestly. And that might have been the point when I turned to Alex when Jeremiah said that
Yeah.
that twofold nature of the vote. So, um no, and you can see it's funny because in the episode you can see Sophie's reaction is she kind of winces like, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that, Jay." So it's funny, but I couldn't see her face. But I thought net he was doing that to appease Annie. Yes.
Okay, you came into the game, you had so many talents, and I don't know if you listened to the On Fire podcast, but Jeff was effusive in his praise and his love for you as a player and what you were going to bring. So, from your perspective, how did this go sideways for you?
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate Jeff saying that. I think it was like such a fun process even getting on the show, so I'm very appreciative. I think honestly, I just didn't fit in with this crew. And you have this group of four, you have Annie, and it was an eclectic bunch. It was a very unique group of people, I think, and I just wasn't in the in crowd, I would say. And that's not really my life experience, to be honest. So I think that was a very difficult thing to kind of tangle with being out there. Like, okay, how do I get in this in crowd? So I don't know. I think Survivor is like a microcosm of the world, and there are just some people that get along really well and some people that don't. And these people are great people. But I think on the show and in that moment, it just didn't gel as naturally and organically as maybe some of those other relationships that you saw form.
How did the tribe look from your perspective in terms of the relationships that you were seeing, and where did you fit into that?
How did the tribe look?
Yeah.
It it felt very just eclectic. Like I said it in the episode, it's a handful. Like I feel like these people were a handful. You had big personalities in a lot of the players. Like everyone had a f- some everyone was just funny and loud and made their voice known, and it was just everyone fighting for, I don't even know, attention and relationships. It was a very unique dynamic. Everyone was just a little crazy.
But what relationships did you feel like that you had that you could have worked with that it ultimately didn't work out?
Yeah, I think I had a relationship with Alex that didn't really come through in the episode, but I we had spent a lot of time together. He had kind of positioned that he was a public affairs consultant. I was also a consultant. He's from the Midwest. I went to school in the Midwest. We had a lot of similar overlap in terms of just life experiences, and he also reminded me of like a friend I would have outside of the game. So I thought that I was kind of in with him, and he was my point my ticket into that group of that core group that you see come through on the episode. But it just didn't manifest. And I think, you can see them kind of deliberating me versus Annie. Someone has to be voted out. I think it was just, that relationship wasn't as firm as maybe that other relationship that he had formed with some of the other folks.
How was your relationship with Annie? Were you two on the same page and then just forced to vote for each other?
No, we did not. Annie was the person I spoke to the least on the island, and that was she had spent a lot of time building the shelter and a lot of time, and you see this in the episode, a lot of time kind of by herself. What I didn't realize that when she was by herself, sometimes she was talking to one-off people, and she and I didn't speak to each other, and they had done a good job of making us feel like it was her versus I.
Yeah.
So you felt that. I had some comments come to me saying that Annie was throwing my name out there. And so they did a good job of making us feel combative. Um, but I think that was potentially a missed opportunity to just kind of take the bull by the horn and go up to Annie and try to form something outside of this group of four.
So, Nicole, you talked to Mike Bloom in the preseason and
Mm,
you told him about how you, from as a young person, that you had issues with hearing loss and you
mm,
developed the ability to read lips, and that was
yes.
going to help you in the game. Was that ever something that you were able to use while you were out there, and did it help you in any way?
So funny. Funny that I said that. A little bit. I think, when one of your senses is a little diluted, your other senses are heightened. But this was a loud crew. So I didn't really struggle with hearing these people because everyone in my tribe was very boisterous. But but yeah, I could kind of pick up on slight facial expressions and things like that. And you kind of see that a little bit, me trying to read people. I didn't read them right, I guess, but I tried. So
Hmm. Yeah, what about in terms of the body language that you were looking for? Did you see anything from that group that made you a little bit more suspicious?
honestly, it's funny. I told Jeremiah, there was one thing that I'm just now remembering. I told Jeremiah before we went to tribal council, I said, Jay, give me like a hand signal on your face if I'm good. And when he was walking back from voting, he didn't look at me, did not look at me, and he
Yeah,
sat and turned away. And I think in that moment, I kind of knew, and I was kicking myself for not playing the shot in the dark. But at that point, it was too late. So it
too
was
late.
it was too late that I read the sign on that.
Yeah. So you told also Mike Bloom in the preseason that you said, I am the love child of Boston Rob and Shambo. Do you feel like we got more Boston Rob or we got
No,
more Shambo from you?
Shambo, in the sense of just being me. Like you got me. I was right. You got the silly version of me, very much so, but you still got a sense of you got a pillar of me, and that's that silly side that came through. And Shambo is authentic and herself. And so I'm proud to say that I think the Shambo side of me stood true out there. If I had a cap on, I think more of my Boston Rob would have came out.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the Shambo
And
side.
she has a big heart and is
Yeah.
somebody who really cares about the people that she is out there with. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing to be a Shambo.
No, not at all. I'm proud love child. I'm proud love child, I should say.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like that you will in the future go to Survivor events and people will ask you to spit a drink in their face?
My God.
Do you think
And
that this will be something that will be, people will see you say, Nicole, please spit a drink in my face?
I didn't even think of that. So that's hysterical. I hope not, but if they do, like I can't
You
see
would do
myself
it.
saying no. Yeah, I mean, I would happily do it. Like Maybe. I don't know. That's so weird. If someone said that to me, I
How
would
did you even think to do that? Where it's
he,
Jeremiah is like, I can't, I have mud in my eyes. And you're like, oh, I
he
got it.
asked. He asked, Rob. He asked. He said explicitly, spit in my eye. I have mud in my eye. He didn't say pour the water, and I didn't even think to pour the water on his eye. Like you got a direct shot. It was
Yeah.
perfect. His eyes were clean after, if you look and see.
It was like that scene in Jurassic Park where Newman is like with the little thing and then it just like spits in
Yeah,
his face.
yeah. Exactly the one that goes like,
That's
yeah, you know what I'm
you.
talking about? Yeah.
That's you, Nicole. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
So,
funny.
how about these other players that you were out there with? What else can you tell us about this group?
This is a good group. I think it's going to be a great season. Um, these people are excited to play, and that's all you can ask for in a like a season, right? You want to see
Mhm.
people who are going to put their life on the line to
But what
make
did
it.
you observe about them that we didn't see in the episode?
Good question. What did I observe about them that didn't make the episode? Uh, I don't know. You have just very like domineering. I think the personalities on my tribe were very domineering.
Yeah.
A lot of big personalities. And I don't think that came through in the episode. Alex has a big personality. He's very funny. He really has a knack for pulling you in and making you feel like you're a family member, quite frankly. Jeremiah is funny, funny as hell and adorable.
Yeah.
Jake is a big personality, brotherly type
Yeah.
vibe.
Let's go back to the challenge. And
Yep.
you were in that hero position. You were the caller, and the episode
Yes.
really makes it look like it's neck and neck. And then you had a bad call, and then ultimately that maybe the tribe felt like it was your fault they lost the challenge. Was that how it was perceived by you?
No, no. I mean, we made it the thing about that puzzle was we made it 90% of the way on our first go, on our second go. First one we obviously dropped and you saw that, but the second go we made it 90% of the way and we were ahead of everyone. And you didn't see that. And then we dropped and then we just couldn't build that momentum back up. There was a lag in the pull on the puzzle that Annie couldn't pull her side. And that was a big part of the challenge was us yelling, Annie, pull your side. And she was like, I can't. And so to
Why
me,
couldn't she?
there was not enough like slack. I don't know
Okay.
what it was. She just couldn't get it. I don't know what it was because the other teams could. And it might have been Alex not giving her enough slack. I don't know what it was. But a lot of the attention I felt was drived at that, at Annie not being able to pull. And that's what I mean when I say it felt like a logical vote because
Yeah.
she was the face of that in that moment.
After the challenge, we saw you get sick in the episode, and it'll be burned in all of our memories forever, and we'll never forget it. But what caused you to be sick? Were you nervous about the vote? Were you not feeling well the whole time?
No, I felt totally fine. We weren't eating. So this was the third day. I hadn't eaten and they gave me like a vitamin. I had a vitamin on an empty stomach and it was just immediate that I got sick. I don't take supplements or vitamins. So my body was like, what? That's genuinely what it was. It was almost immediate.
I
So
think that that was the most graphic vomiting I've ever seen in Survivor history.
I could not believe that was in the episode. I couldn't believe it. I was
I
shocked.
I can't believe they are even allowed to show that on
I know.
CBS. Like, I get it if it's like, hey, go on Paramount Plus if you want to see the whole thing. But
Right, right.
wow.
I know, I know. My family got a kick out of it. My
Yeah.
coworkers are gonna make fun of me. It's funny.
Hey, Nicole, what's next for you?
I'm just trying to savor the rest of the season, watch the rest of the episode with family and friends. It'll be fun to debrief. Um, Going back to my 9 to 5, I'm like excited for the rest of the season.
Okay. Well, Nicole, it was really nice to talk to you. And there is, so much support in the survivor community for everybody. And I just hope that you're feeling good about going out there and having this experience and all the best outside the show.
I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Yep.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.